Today I'm going to teach you in our 4-part series the back of the napkin small business valuation using this Monopoly money, this clock, and of course the old school Monopoly car. All right, let's get to it. I'm Scott Duke and welcome to the Happy Dealmaker channel. If you are a small business owner looking to set your company up so that it can sell in the future, welcome home. This is the channel for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're a community of small business owners that are working every day to make our companies more sellable, and we release a video here every week on how to do just that. So this video, we're talking about how to value a small business on the back of a napkin. And we're really talking about the fundamentals of business valuation so that we can start high. And then I've got 3 other videos that dig a little bit deeper for those that are wanting to go a little bit deeper. But for this video, we're going to use this clock, which is kind of bizarre. And we're going to use this Monopoly cash, the little Monopoly car, like I said. And we're always after these Monopoly houses, the hotels and the houses. So we're going to use those too. All right, so off the bat, we're going to be doing, this is known as a market valuation. It's called the market method. Because really what we're trying to determine is what's the market going to pay for the company, right? That's what's going to determine our value. So we start off with having some assets. These are our assets. I also have the little wheelbarrow. Okay, these are the things that we need to operate our company. So there are assets. And then our assets are going to generate some cash flow, right? So out of these assets, we get cash flow. And in this example, okay, we're getting $100,000 of cash income that the company generates. Then the company also pays us $50,000 a year in salary. And the company also gives us some benefits. So we get this little company car, which is a bonus. Maybe it pays for our dental. Maybe it pays for all our groceries. Who knows? Every small business, there's benefits in every small business. But in this example, we're going to assume that we're making about $20,000 a year if we were to convert that into cash of benefits from this company. All right. So there's our cash that's generating. 170,000. All right. So that's our 100 and our 50 and our 20. This is the benefit to us as a business owner owning this company. And that's really when you're doing business valuation, that's a big part of what you're trying to figure out in the beginning is what's the benefit? What's the benefits to owning this company? And in small business, there's actually a term for this. It's called SDE, which stands for Seller's Discretionary Earnings. And the video below, the next video in this series really dives deep into how to calculate your business's seller discretionary earnings. But for this example, this is what we need to know. This is really high level and we're doing back of the napkin. So we have assets in our company. Those assets generate a certain amount of cash flow. There's a benefit to the owner for owning those assets and owning this company. And in this case, it's 170,000. That's what it's generating. All right. So that's kind of our SDE. Okay. Now we want to know, what's this company actually worth? And that comes down to risk. Take our clock away. Okay. How am I going to draw this out? Okay. Let's put risk here. Okay. There's a little box for risk. And inside the box for risk, so we can remember, we're going to use this dice, right? So when someone's looking to purchase your company or someone's trying to value your company, really what we're trying to determine is those benefits that are being generated today. What is the probability that those benefits are going to be generated in the future? What's the probability that the buyer of your company is going to get those same benefits, right? And so that's what we determine as risk. And risk is a big risk return. Risk is a big part of determining what the value of a company is. So how can we do this simply back of the napkin? Well, let's think about our buyer over here who's representing our market. All right, this is our buyer. And they look at your company or this company in our example, and they're trying to determine the risk. And they determine the risk and they have that in their head. And what that does is it gives them a general idea, here's our clock back, of how long they're going to wait to get their money back, right? That's what we're talking when we're talking about risk. Okay, I'm willing to, especially a small business. People don't necessarily think when they're buying small businesses in, ROI. Sometimes they're just thinking on how long am I going to wait to get my money back. And in this example, our buyer, he wants his money back. I'm going to move this clock a little bit so we can get a speech bubble. He wants his money back in 2.5 years. That's what this buyer wants. That's what the market says. They've determined the risk on this particular enterprise and they say, okay, small business, semi-risky, I want my money back in 2.5 years. All right, what does that actually even mean? So interestingly enough, if you divide 1 by 2.5, it gives you 40%. It's like 0.4, right? 40%. So that's the return they're looking for. They're looking for a 40% return on this business. So this is all the pieces that we need in place to now bring in our napkin and do our back of the napkin valuation. So we have our SDE, which was 170,000. We know what our risk is, all right? Our assessed risk, 2.5. This is sometimes called a multiple in the industry. And again, the video after the benefits video talks about how you find out your exact multiple for your business. All right, so that's our 2.5. So all we do is multiply those two things. So, okay, sorry, I forgot. We're gonna need our calculator, right, to do that. Type that in, and that ends up being 425,000. All right, so you can see how quickly you can do a back of the napkin valuation of any business. If you know the benefits, the cash flow that business is gonna generate in the future, what it's generating today, it's likely gonna generate in the future. And then you know the risk that the market is going to assess that business at. You have the two pieces to do a quick back of the napkin valuation. And for small business, 2.5 is, like if you have a business that's doing under $3 or $5 million a year in revenue, 2.5 is a pretty safe number to get you fairly close to what your business is actually worth. And again, in that multiple video below, I explain exactly why that's the case. All right, there you have it. The back of the napkin valuation. If you found this helpful, don't forget, like, subscribe, join the community. Remember, every business is sellable.